Second home run a year ago, and a great tribute here tonight of some of the great calls in Vin's career here at the Big A. Played in front of these fans that admired him so much. A moment of silence as well, alongside Mark Gubas. That was really cool to see.
Yeah, I mean, for Vin to say that, put that out on a tweet, that's amazing. The legend talking about Shohei Ohtani.
Well, here we go. Tony Kemp going to dig in and lead off against Shohei. Great to have you alongside on a gorgeous night for baseball here at the Big A. Ohtani's going to be facing not only Kemp, but the rest of this Athletics order is Laureano, Murphy, Brown, Andrews, Lowry, Pinder, Machine, and Bolt. 2-0 to Kemp. First pitch at 6:38, 77 degrees.
Although Kemp generally is aggressive on the first pitch. He's trying to see some pitches out of the hand early on for Shohei, and Shohei falling behind 2-0 and a couple fastballs out of the zone. You usually see that with Shohei when he comes to the bullpen mound to the game mound. It's usually that first or second pitch. Already 3 fastballs for Shohei. You don't see a ton of fastballs, especially of late for Shohei. He's been so good with his slider. But again, it's how he feels in the bullpen, what pitch is working for him.
And drops in that slider for a strike. We'll be seeing a lot of that tonight. And we got some great numbers to support how good that slider has been. Doesn't seem like Ohtani goes full throttle in that bullpen to warm up.
He knows his body better than anybody. He's so good with it. And my go-tos for Shohei Ohtani to continue this incredible run he is on right now. Finish with secondary pitches, 118 strikeouts with his secondary pitches this season, and use fastballs when they're sitting on those breakable and those breakable counts. That's what he's rushing at up there at 100 to 102.
2-2 to Kemp. Ground ball, first base, and one away. Now you want to play some good defense when Ohtani is on the bump, and it's Magneuris, Sierra in left. Making his Angels debut is Mickey Moniak, Ward and right, Rengifo, Velasquez, Fletcher, and Walsh, who just made that play. And as usual, Stassi is catching Ohtani.
And Moniak out in center field. SoCal native, just 45 minutes away from here at the Big A. Acquired yesterday in a Noah Syndergaard trade. First overall pick by the Phillies in 2016. Can cover a lot of ground and a good solid throwing arm out in center field.
A swing and a miss from Laureano. How about that? Your first start as an Angel, and Ohtani's on the bump. A chance to win his 10th game and maybe go double digits in strikeouts for 7 consecutive and make history. Yeah, he's ready. And he's played in Philly, so I think he can handle this pressure.
Wow, that's nasty. 2 sliders in a row. Really good downward tilt. Now, we talk about his slider. He threw a slider to Kemp. There was more of that horizontal break upstairs, upper part of the strike zone. These are the ones he throws down and away.
So 4 straight sliders after the 3 straight fastballs to kick off the game. 0-2 to Ramon. Swing and a miss. First strikeout on the night. 2 down.
Boy, that is the wipeout, nasty slider. 3 in a row. All 3. A little bit off the plate, but that sharp break to it. And he has increased his spin rate on his slider from you go back to last year, even prior to that. Staying on top of the baseball. Very good spin.
2 quick outs brings up Sean Murphy. Dangerous catcher. Very good numbers offensively for Murphy.
He knows, especially Sean Murphy, swings at the first pitch a lot to a hard slider. You go back to his last 6 starts, usage of his slider, 43%, 30 strikeouts, a whiff percentage at 50.
Come on.
And 63 swing and misses versus slider. That's not over a season. That's over this stretch here, 6 games.
Put it in perspective, just that usage at 40%, you know, where that would rank generally amongst main starters, and also.
But it's the way he throws his slider. He'll throw the one upstairs, he'll throw the one downstairs, he'll change some speeds with it. Some will be 88, some will be 84. So it's different break to it, different tilt.
Behind Murphy, 2-0. That's in there, 2-1. This pinpoint control. He is an absolute total command on the hill. And we started off the broadcast with, Vin's tweet about Ohtani. Man, it'd be fun to hear him call this. What he would have to say about this two-way superstar. Drops that in there, 2-2.
So, boy, all of a sudden, he's going back to that heavy usage of sliders. Especially when you could throw for a strike like he did. Now you got a chance to get Murphy to go after a slider out of the zone.
It's almost like that splitter is seldom used, but he'll break it out. Swing and a miss. Back-to-back strikeouts. Oh, the slider is just unreal, Kubi.
And the arm angle, a little different arm angle he went with this slider to get his second punch out of the inning. Shohei locked already.
And he's coming up second to our Bounty quick stats. Most strikeouts over a 6-game span, last 10 seasons in MLB history. Well, in the last 10 seasons. Redundant there. Cole, Sale, Kluber, and Scherzer and Ohtani.
Some Cy Young Award winners amongst those names, and dominant pitchers.
He's over 100 innings pitched on the season, and this is 18th start, 53rd of his career, and almost equals the strikeout total from a year ago with 20 plus, maybe close to 30 innings less work.
That first pitch slider close to a strike, then he does that little backup slider for a strike.
Chad Pinder leading off.
There's that upper zone slider. We're going to talk about that and show that during the course of the game. It's so effective. It is by design by Shohei Ohtani and a lot of pitchers on this staff for the Angels.
The 1-2.
There he is. He's throwing a lot more of those drop down sliders. Remember one pitcher I used to, the teammate of mine, David Cohn, could throw that drop down slider and it was unhittable. But you're going to have to at some point, if you drop down, you have to throw a fastball too. Otherwise they're going to lay off it, thinking every time it's a slider it's a good chance it's going to be out of the zone.
That's popped up. Taylor Ward coming in, Walsh going back. That's going to be a tough play, and Walsh makes it. That's a nice defensive play by Jared Walsh. No surprise.
And going back to Shohei Ohtani, how effective that upper zone elevated slider is. He throws the most in baseball this season. Chris Archer at 29%, Chad Kuhl at 23.8. We know how good Dylan Cease is this season, and Dakota Hudson both a little over 21%, but the average in Major League Baseball is 11.6%. Shohei at 32.3%, and throwing that elevated slider with the late break to horizontal break makes that so effective.
Vimayamashi been 7 up, 7 down for Ohtani so far here tonight.
And our Hyundai key for the game today, going a little Pink Floyd, Shine On You Crazy Diamond. The stuff that Shohei can do on the diamond is amazing with that slider upstairs, the slow curveball, the splitter, his 100+ mile-an-hour fastball. Shine on you crazy diamond, Shohei Ohtani.
What kind of music do you think Ohtani likes? Any chance he's
Well, I know he had that walk-up Casimir by Led Zeppelin there over a throwback weekend. For me, that goes, he's
up there, right?
Yes.
Already even you
Yes.
elevated him higher than you already had him. Okay.
Yep.
Well, there's the first knock of the game by Machine of all people. A 2-0 cutter. And there's the first hit of the game.
Put himself in a count where he could sit on a pitch in the zone. Cutter overall this season for Shohei Ohtani, 375 for hitters against his cutter. So a pretty high whiff percentage of 25.5. 4 ground ball double plays turned behind Shohei.
Well, Sky Bolt is going to fly down the line. It'll be tough to double him up. Got to be fast, right, Gooby, with a name like Sky Bolt. Ooh, 98 upstairs.
A lot of room on that left side of the infield. Rengifo is going to have a lot of ground to cover, especially if he stays with hard stuff away.
Fell behind Machine 2-0. Now it's 2-0 to Bolt. Again, Rengifo alone on the left side of the infield. A shift to the right and still some sun to deal with.
Paints a fastball at the knees away at 96. This free and easy on his delivery.
That swing did not look like he was anticipating that to be a fastball.
Well, he's in the dugout on that circle. He's seen a ton of sliders, some curveballs, some cutters. There it is, 97 here, the grunt. I think he's got a shot at a splitter right now. Especially he's established 2 fastballs away and down. So you're more apt as a hitter to go after a splitter because it's going to be a hard pitch at 90-91. Shohei can get a swing and miss with it.
Last time he threw that was to Brown to strike him out. Wow. That's 4 Ks for Ohtani, 2 down here in the 3rd.
Goes with a hard slider. And that's that, instead of that horizontal break, he'll throw upstairs. The one downstairs late break to it at 87.
Well, first time through for Ohtani, just 1 hit allowed, 4 strikeouts. Tony Kemp led off the game with a ground out to Walsh.
Remember, he fell behind 2-0 to Kemp first at bat. We're coming back again and hit a ground ball out on the slider. This 2 first pitch strikes out of 10 batters so far for Shohei. But his ability to use all his other pitches to get back into counts makes it remarkable.
Like that. Kemp swings through that 4-seamer, 1-1.
It's right around his average fastball 4-seam velocity this season too for Shohei at 96 plus. Has touched 102. Average 96.
Shohei wanted it, didn't get it, 2-1.
Yeah, it might have been a half a baseball. So far, there's no borderline pitches going Shohei's way, but they were off the plate.
Kemp trying to bring him in the zone if he can. Get something to handle. Downstairs, 3-1. Good take. Ramon Laureano waits on deck. Emaya Machine at first base. Oh, that's in there. Got the call.
Shohei a quick little smile. Goes, no, I got that. That's the amazing thing about Shohei, how much he's enjoying.
That's right.
Very, very competitive. We know how competitive he is on the mound, at the plate, on the bases. Now he's telling, you see Phil Nevin kind of pointing around to Walsh to be ready to get away from the base there, because he's going to be going 3-2 anyhow with 2 outs at first. Coverage defensively as a first baseman.
Runner goes. Kemp just fouls it off.
Such a perfectionist. He's making that motion for his front shoulder to keep it in just a little bit longer. 2 reasons why you do that: better deception and better depth, especially when you're throwing a secondary pitch.
1 on. 2 outs. 3-2 count to Tony Kemp. Oh, another one. Slider. 5 strikeouts. Shohei Ohtani on his game. Call, and so he called your name. What a thrill. But also, how amazing would it have been to hear Vince Scully call Shohei Ohtani on the hill?
Yeah, I mean, I remember him coming up and talking about Mike Trout, how an incredible player, how he reminded him of Mickey Mantle. I can't even imagine who he would compare Shohei Ohtani to, the immortals of the game, because what he's doing on the mound and what he's doing at the plate.
What was it like for Vin to hear your name called by him?
You know, that's, you know, I don't even care how I did in that game. Just to be able to, like, hear his voice calling my name and saying that I did something in an All-Star game was wow. Still have that. Well, I'm going to date myself. I have the video of it, but no longer, not in a DVD form, but video of it. It was so good.
We could transfer it over for you. 5 strikeouts for Ohtani, so he's halfway to his 7th consecutive double-digit strikeout game, which would tie Nolan Ryan for the most in Angels franchise history.
So that's 5 straight sliders he has thrown to Laureano. 3 first at bat for a strikeout. Ahead 0-2.
Opportunity lost for the Halos in the bottom of the 3rd. You got the first 2 batters on with great speed. Got him over. Ohtani, chance to help himself. Lined out, and then a strikeout by Rengifo. Caprillion keeps this game scoreless.
He shook off a cutter, a curveball, splitter, till he went back to his slider again. It's the one thing about Shohei. Going through scouting reports, he's still going to pitch his game. And what he wants to throw, what he's most confident to throw, every pitch.
Slider usage so far in this ball game over 60%. We'll see as the game goes on how that evens out. Laureano a strikeout victim in the 1st. The 0-2. It's a ground ball. Rengifo back a couple of steps. The long throw, and it's off the mark. That's going to be an error to Luis Rengifo on the throw. And Laureano is aboard.
He played it on that longer hop, and then the quick throw, knowing how quick Laureano is going down the line. Elevates the throw. Now a stolen base threat. At first, Shohei so good as far as stopping a running game. He's allowed 2 stolen bases in 3 attempts. This 5 overall in his career. That slider he threw enough of, and that one got more of the plate than he wanted to get. Otherwise, he's going to get a chase out of the zone.
Well, he got the ground ball, but couldn't get the out on the error. So, well, that one misses, gets past Stassi. Maybe that's going to be a wild pitch.
The 11th wild pitch of the season.
So an error, now a wild pitch, and now a runner in scoring position in Laureano with nobody out. when runners get on or in scoring position, it's just remarkable. Bases empty, the average 28th, but look at with 2 outs and runners in scoring position. 194, that is first. Same with just runners in scoring position, period.
I mean, it's OPS. I mean, that's slugging and on base percentage. It's phenomenal. Shohei. Got to vary that look. Shohei's good with that as far as not allowing a base runner to time him, even at second base.
Ground ball, that gets through. Taylor Ward comes up, good speed from Laureano. And there'll be no play at the plate, 1-0 Oakland. Well, the costly error. Wild pitch, base hit.
Good fastball hitter. Fastball about thigh high away.
That brings up Seth Brown.
Well, he's still feeling comfortable throwing his slider. First hit for Murphy versus Shohei. 0 for 5 coming in that at bat. Got a fastball away, got a single and RBI.
Well, so that's foul, so it'll be 1-2 to Seth Brown. On the off day, I was speaking to Michael Lorenzen. You may have seen the Instagram photo. It was Shohei, Lorenzen, Ippei, and Syndergaard on e-bikes. They got on a ferry, went out to Balboa Islands. Lorenzen's kind of like the tour guide. There's all these junior lifeguards recognize Shohei. He said it was something to see. They started chasing him down. There's a strikeout.
Like that splitter he's thrown, we just showed that nearly 65% sliders. So he's got a couple strikeouts today with his splitter. Straight down, he's had a splitter strikeout at 90 miles an hour. This one at 89.
'89, good year. 6 strikeouts for Ohtani, but it's 1-0 Oakland. Elvis Andrus, 0 for 1. Kia player profile. Most consecutive games with 10+ strikeouts, Angels history. Nolan Ryan, 7 in 1977, and Shohei can tie the all-time franchise record with just 4 more here tonight. Franchise came into existence in 1961. And Ohtani on the verge of history.
Boy, a lot of sliders thrown for Shohei.
Lifted towards the right side. Taylor Ward coming in. And he has it for the second out of the 4th.
Another slider. Now, a high usage of sliders here for Shohei. And that puts a lot of pressure, especially when you're throwing two types. One that horizontal break upper part of the strike zone, the other one that down and away or down and into a lefty. You think of throwing a football. That's how was taught and taught youngsters, even at the high school level. Slider, think about throwing a football. So you're throwing that as hard as you can. So you're putting a lot of torque on your wrist and elbow. That's how strong Shohei is.
And Jed Lowry, curveball in there for a strike. Lowry's first plate appearance, that line drive, an excellent play by Rengifo. Saw the frustration from Lowry. See if he tries the same thing to punch it the other way.
Last game out against Texas, though, he didn't throw a lot of fastballs, but then all of a sudden he started feeling good with the fastball later in the game. So 20 pitches in the third, 16 so far. It's going to always be a fairly high amount of pitches per inning because he gets that many strikeouts, although that game in Atlanta he had 11 strikeouts through 6 with 71 pitches.
Yeah, that was something to see. 1-2. One on, two outs, a 1-2 count to Jed Lowry. Spikes that slider, 2-2. Do you feel he's throwing it too much? Work something else in there? Or if you got the...
He's got a feel for it.
If it ain't broke, don't fix it.
This feels like he's thinking about, okay, let me try a splitter here now. With percentage of over 52% with his splitter. He's got a couple strikeouts with his splitter.
Two, grounded foul. Sean Murphy at first. RBI single. Drove in Ramon Laureano from second. Unearned run after an error by Rengifo to start the inning. So full count coming to Lowry.
Every once in a while when you see a pitch elevated, that's a splitter. That means the wrist drop. He didn't stay on top of the baseball. Boy, there's a lot of room on that left side of the infield. And we know Jed Lowry is just in that mode sometimes, is to try to punch it that way. So Rengifo is going to have to cover a lot of ground.
About 80 feet of room. 3-2 ground ball. Fletcher has it and retires Lowry. One run comes in unearned. 1-0 Oakland.
Arm angle for Shohei Ohtani and the bite on his slider. Now a Caprillion slider, a little higher arm angle, and the downward action on his sliders compared to Shohei with more of a horizontal break. You compare the spin rate for Shohei on average 24.72, above average Major League as far. You can see the difference in the baseball. Caprillion below the Major League average as far as spin rate on the slider. His straight down. The rotation of baseball really gives you an indication of that late spin and the difference between Caprillion slider, more downward vertical action. Shohei Ohtani's more horizontal break to it.
Excellent breakdown, comparison of the sliders between these two hurlers here tonight, both dealing. Chad Pinder leading off. in the 5th. 1 run in for Oakland. Unearned and 6 strikeouts so far for Ohtani.
Well, you notice both these pitchers really strong shoulders. That allows them to throw that many sliders during the course of a game. Shohei Ohtani, shoulders strong. Caprillion, if you look at him next half inning, strong shoulders, allows that to keep that front shoulder strong enough when you're throwing that much, so many sliders during the course of a game. Very important to have that. That's why you see those guys working so hard with the weighted baseballs to stay strong, be consistent. Sliders. Shohei wants to know exactly where that pitch was, and you see how Shohei, he has that back leg and he drives at his front shoulder, and the way he gets that much energy to deliver a slider or pitch in general. But it's that all that shoulder, that strong shoulders he has.
Always in tremendous fielding position after every pitch is released. It's just a physical marvel to be a two-way player at this level.
It's a pretty good take on a split for Pinder.
Next pitch, number 70 for Shohei. Two and two to Pinder. Foul back.
When the slider usage continues for Ohtani. Pinder, a really good fastball hitter, where you're so tempted to try to throw a fastball in the inner half and elevate. Nearly 66% slider usage.
He's hardly thrown that cutter. And one of the 2 hits for Oakland is off the cutter. First hit of the game. Chances are a slider. But no, misses with the curveball. Count runs full. Another low scoring, tight game between these 2 teams. That's driven towards left field, and Sierra played perfectly. 1 down. Well, certainly squared up, but Magneuris Sierra has it. This defense has played at this level. There's Machine, 1 for 1.
You know, Shohei remembers that cutter he hit. Doesn't do it often. First pitch splitter, or he might drop a curveball first pitch.
Oh, that one's got eyes. Flair on a fastball at 99, and Machine just that, 2 for 2.
That getting an opportunity to face Shohei Ohtani in your 2 for 2. 99 mile-an-hour fastball. Exit velocity certainly not there, but placed well. It's a crazy game, you know, when you think about it. Chad Pinder hit a baseball on almost 103 miles per hour, right on the barrel, and it's an out. And then this flare in the outfield. That's the beauty of this game. Yeah. Going back to the man who was the best to talk about the beauty of the game, Vince Scully, how he'd be able to explain that.
You got a round bat and a round ball. Strange things will happen. And Sky Bolt, who struck out his first time up, and you know, if you're thinking of Ohtani, he's going to be able to get to double-digit strikeouts. He has 6. He's going to need to get a punch out here. My best guesstimation. 0-2.
Remember, he struck him out with a hard slider down and in. Shohei, one of the best finishers when he gets to that 0-2 count.
And he's got 7. 2 down as Bolt strikes out for the 2nd time tonight.
When he gets the 2 strikes, he's just devastating. When he gets ahead of the count, so difficult.
Games with 10+ Ks and 0 Ks on fastballs this season in baseball. Ohtani with 3. The rest of the league, Gooby, has 4. How do you explain that? One of those 4, Sandoval.
It's amazing to be able to get that many strikeouts during the course of a game and not have any with fastballs. We know how good his secondary pitches are, but that's still unheard of.
Well, that is an excellent piece of hitting. Oh, excuse me, swing by Tony Kemp. There might be a play at third. In fact, there is. Sierra, guns out machine. Ohtani says, well done.
This got behind a good throw as the left-handed thrower. Marcotte going to say, yeah, he's out. And a lot of times the left-handed thrower, that's going to tail back, but it's right on the bag in a quick tag.
And we'll see Ohtani here in the bottom of the 5th.
Different arm angles create the different break on a slider. Here, Shohei Ohtani, where that arm is set up. A little bit lower, arm slide, gets that downward break on a slider. Here, able to drop it at that point where he's able to throw that slider, the upper elevated slider against Murphy. So this is the difference in his arm angle and the grip of the baseball. Same pitch, different angle, different results. One that goes down, one that has horizontal break. Not easy to do, Patrick. That is not easy to do. But that's for me, that's why you're seeing a resurgence of sliders being thrown. You can do that. Different arm angles. You can throw to different parts of the plate. Upper part of the zone, lower part of the zone with one pitch. That'd be a slider.
Ohtani, just a master of his craft on the hill.
He wants to go to maybe a cutter here.
Oh, nice call. Now, considering he's hardly ever thrown that pitch in this game, how did you see that? Or maybe you can't disclose. Keep your secrets. Just missed hitting Laureano, falls behind 2-0.
After getting that 1 run to tie it up. Shohei looking to put up a 0.
That's driven well by Laureano out to left field. Sierra cuts it off, trying to hold him to a single, and he does.
Wow, that's 2 excellent defensive plays. To get to that baseball that quickly and to get it in a good throw. One of those plays looking back in this game could be a huge play. That's a backup slider. Laureano quick on that, short on the swing. He's thinking out of the batter's box. He's got a double. Magneuris Sierra gets to that and gets behind his throw. Tell you what, if he goes, he's going to be out.
Season high sliders thrown tonight for Shohei. 52, career high 55 in a game. Would assume he might surpass that. 1 on, nobody out. That slider misses to Sean Murphy. He's 1 for 2 RBI.
Remember, he had a base hit to the right side of the infield. Long look down. Laureano with good speed. Stassi's thrown out 21% base stealers.
Off the plate, 2-0. Gets the call there. Cutter for a strike and an important pitch for Shohei.
Got that call, that cutter just a little bit off the plate. Hasn't got many of those throughout this game.
That's hit towards left field. Sierra's been busy going back on it and just has to watch that one go. Sean Murphy, big blast, 2-run home run, gives the A's a 3-1 lead here in the 6th.
Slider, another slider. Murphy with good power. 13th home run. Second big hit, an RBI single back in the 4th, 2-run home run. All the RBI. That just spins back. It's the thing, when you throw a lot of sliders, eventually you're going to have 1 or 2 of those spin like that right into the zone. 112 miles per hour exit velocity on that one.
'55th slider thrown for Ohtani, which ties a career high, and not the result he was looking for. Does get soft contact there. Seth Brown grounds out for the first out here in the 6th. But Murphy, 13th home run, a big one.
Two baseballs hit pretty hard in that inning alone against Shohei. The 12th home run that Ohtani has allowed. 6 versus right-handed batters, 6 versus left-handed batters.
There's Elvis Andrus, 1 down.
A couple of cutters in this inning.
That's a tough slider there. 1-2 to Andrus, who has had great success in his career versus the Angels. 0 for 2 though tonight. Wow, bringing it off the plate, 2-2.
Remember, using his approach, and it's been successful throughout his career against all pitching, but especially against the Angels, where he looks away late with 2 strikes, breaking balls, fastballs away to hit the ball to right field. Susceptible to pitches inside with 2 strikes.
Just like that, driven to right field, but Taylor Ward played perfectly, has it. Andrus retired for the 2nd out of the 6th. Jed Lowry. Halos have to shift to the right side. Velasquez in short right. Rengifo alone on the left side.
Shohei Ohtani, 4 of the last 5 home runs he's allowed have been on his slider. Yeah, but it's been a devastating pitch, a lot of swing and miss, a lot of strikeouts. But a flat slider becomes a very hittable pitch. It goes right to the barrel of the bat.
Foul back. The pitch before was that split. Interesting the way Stassi had to catch that. On the top of the 6th, Oakland 3, Halos 1.
Shohei 2-2 in his career versus Oakland, 3.55 ERA.
That's off the plate, 3-1. Ohtani wanted it. Didn't get it. Remember his first career start here against Oakland, how good that was. Gets away, but that's ball 4. First career start Ohtani made in the big leagues here at the Big A. It's worthy of a Carl's Cam replay. 2018, April 8th. First start at home, no-hitter into the 7th. Remember watching that, just thinking, oh my goodness, he is for real.
Yeah, his splitter was unhittable. You can see a number of these highlights. That splitter, a lot of those strikeouts with a splitter.
Well, Matt Wise comes out with Ippei. You know, and I was curious if, when I asked you, is he throwing that slider maybe too much? But he's throwing that splitter so much less when it was this devastating pitch in baseball. Do you have any inclination as to why he's throwing it less?
Well, when you have a feel for a pitch, that's why you go with that. Sometimes there's a comfort zone when you're throwing a split, whether there's, you feel that on the friction on the seams when you're throwing it.
And he's working now, 95 pitches, and a 2-out walk. To Lowry brings up Chad Pinder. Saw Aaron Loop is up in the bullpen. And certainly the streak of, games, consecutive games of double-digit strikeouts in serious jeopardy, but most importantly, the only thing that matters, certainly to Shohei and everybody else, that Angels dugout, is winning the game.
Another one of those sliders, he got around that one. It's a little quick. He's muscling up his slider. When you hear that terminology from a pitcher muscling up, that means you're getting quick and you're not getting that extension on the baseball. You're bringing it across your body. Even the great ones, every once in a while, lose a feel for a pitch. See if Shohei can get it back.
Phil Nevin knows this is a tricky part of the game for Ohtani. Pitch count running up. Approaching 100. It's popped up. Stassi gives it a look. Out of play, 1-2. still on the verge of another quality start for Ohtani on the bump.
Interesting pitch right here for Shohei. Usually when he's getting close to 2, where he's feeling his energy is tapped out, he'll have that best pitch for a punch out.
Oh, that's hit well to right field. That's a base hit for Pinder. So 2 out, knock first and second for Oakland. And that's going to do it. Phil Nevin comes with the hook. Always battling though Shohei Ohtani on the bump. Always. Ohtani leads the game as a pitcher, remains in the game as a hitter. We have a pitching change here in the 6th, and listen to that ovation.